Hey guys, this is Brian from SinisterRainbow Studios. I'm gonna show you how to make a Boid today. I haven't seen much stuff in the forums, and I've only done one, and it wasn't perfect. So I'm gonna try to make this one for my game at the same time as giving a little lesson on it. So what we have here is just a quick snake I threw together. I don't even know if this is gonna be the final one, but this is a Boid tutorial, so we'll go ahead and do it. So first of all, you want to get your mesh in the game, whatever it is. I think snake Boid might be a little more difficult. I'm going to have to use some spline AKs and stuff like that. But we'll at least get the basics down. So bring your mesh in the game, and then we're going to create a bone structure and then export it to the engine. We have to set up a couple files and a Lua file, and all this stuff I'll include with the tutorial. So here we go. I'm going to set up the mesh here. When I bone it, I'm going to need to set it up so I can get the bones aligned properly. Let's see what we need here. Front view. So this is a 3ds Max. If you're using something else, I'm sure you can do something similar, but I'll cover 3ds Max basics here. So we're going to open the bone tools. I'm going to do create bone mode. Now with a snake, he's going to need a lot of bones so his mesh deforms right. I tried it earlier with maybe like 7 or 8 segments for his body, and but it just deforms too much. Even with, when it's pretty tessellated around the joints, it deforms too much. So I'm going to add a lot more bones this time, maybe one for each edge loop right here. We'll see if that works. I don't really know. This is kind of a trial on my part too, so we'll see how it goes here. So I'm going to start with the head bone. I'm going to have a bone for the head. Let's see, one for his top part of his mouth and one for his jaw, and then make one for his tongue, and the rest will be just segments for his body. Well, let's try that out. There's my guy here we go. So we'll go ahead by doing the create bone tool. I'll probably want to place one. Let's see. I suppose we can start right around here. I want his head to move when he's slithering side to side. His head should kind of lead the way. So maybe we'll have a small bone here. Let's see. I don't like the size of that. Let's scale that down a bit. See how that looks. A little small. I can add fins to it later and stuff. I'll probably just do that. Okay, let's get this going. So this will be his head bone, and we'll name it BIP01 when it's ready. That's the surefire way to get at the engine. I don't know if there are other ways, but that way works. I want to do about one per segment. I could do one every other segment. It doesn't really matter. Let's see. We'll go ahead and do this. It'll end up looking better. So snapped off. I just deleted the end nub bone, and I'll go ahead and I'll continue from this point. I'll worry about aligning it later there, so bring this out. And how do we continue? I suppose we could create bone. As you can see, I'm not a pro at this. I know some basics, and that's about it. continue it for us. If not, we can fix it later. It's okay. So you can see where I had the original bones at. There's more edge loops around the joint that I had earlier. And I might clean that up later, do a multi-res and just decrease the polygon count a little bit, or I may not. I may just leave it at this kind of polygon count and count on the LODs to take it down. So snap that off, move it over here, I'll Control Z that a couple times, continue from here again. Now I have bones of different sizes. Probably won't matter, this is not a huge creature. But I guess it's tessellated enough around there, it'll be okay. Alright, let's go ahead and do that. Snap it off again, Control Z a couple times. Now skinning shouldn't be a problem either, even with this many bones. So there we go. Leave the nub bone on the end. I don't think nub bones are really crucial to having things work in the engine if you're using a skid modifier. I think with previous versions of CryEngine you use a physique modifier and you absolutely had to have nub bones, but I'm still leaving nub bones just so I can have some access outside the body to move stuff around and just for whatever, just in case. It doesn't really matter. I won't be skinning them anyway, so. Okay, let's go and do some bones here. And so let's do create bone here for his head. And I'm going to put it over here, and then I'm going to connect it to this main spine part. And that might be at a funky angle. Let's see. It's way out there. Okay. Oops. Might have Control Z too far. No, it looks alright. Okay, I'm going to try this, and then I'll try to connect it. I don't know if that's going to give me a problem or not, but we'll see. And then I'm going to leave the tongue alone for a minute, because when I'm done, I'm going to skin this part first, I'm going to open his jaw, and then put the tongue in, make a new bone for it. It's just easier, but you can do it whatever way you want. So let's see, let's get off create bones. Let's click this one and connect it to this guy. That didn't quite work out, did it? Okay, let's undo that for a second. Let's scrap this idea. I'm just going to delete these. We'll go to create bone again. Wants to create from there. I suppose I could do this. If I do it this way, I'm sure it's going to connect to the other bones. Do that though. His jaw should be separated. I want his joint to be down here some, so let's just create it out.